This morning, as you look on at the scene at Mar-a-Lago, where we've seen groups of supporters arrive over the night in support of former President Trump, he is at his Bedminster, New Jersey home, where he flew after being checked by doctors in Pennsylvania after an attempted assassination attempt when the former president was at an outdoor rally there, said to be in good spirits, according to his campaign staff, looking forward to the Republican National Convention that begins in Milwaukee tomorrow. He does not technically need to be there for a few more days to formally accept the nomination. We'll see how that plays out. But again, the former president leaving his private aircraft on the way to his Bedminster, New Jersey home. I did speak this morning with Palm Beach County Sheriff Ric Bradshaw about security at and around Mar-a-Lago moving forward. Sheriff Bradshaw, as sheriff and with your other hat as regional head for Homeland Security, have you had conversations with the U.S. Secret Service, and what will it mean moving forward for security at Mar-a-Lago, the events of yesterday?
Well, yes, we were in contact with them within minutes of after this happened, because we wanted to determine if he was coming back here. We wanted to ramp up our security footprint over there and make sure that everything was covered, because right now it's minimal because there's nobody there. So we talked with them right after the incident. You know, I was very surprised that this guy was able to get on that rooftop. And the reason I say that is, you know, anywhere we move, and we protected the president for 4 years. Anywhere we move to, anywhere he's at, if there's buildings around within a half a mile, I mean, the helicopter checks the rooftops. So to make sure there's nobody up there. And, you know, if there's a pathway up there, it's secured. So that surprised me a little bit. And I'm sure when they get done reviewing this, it'll be the focal point of it.
And as far as local security is the largest agency, and certainly one of in the Southeast, you will expect in your conversations an enhanced security footprint at Mar-a-Lago, obviously.
There's really 3 levels when you get to this stage. You've got a candidate level, you've got the nominee level, and then you've got the presidential level. So they're going to ramp his up because he's a former president. He was getting more anyhow. So we're fully prepared to do it. Like I say, we're pretty experienced at protecting Mar-a-Lago and getting him places, you know, to and from with no problem at all. We've done outdoor events with him. They're large, but you got to provide the manpower to make sure that people are screened and nobody has access to a high point or a line of sight.
Sheriff Ric Bradshaw, our sharp-eyed viewers, and all of you always are, and we appreciate your feedback, most definitely not the GOP National Committee man. That was our prior interview, so quickly correcting that. We do appreciate, on a serious note, Sheriff Bradshaw joining us, of course, noting that Mar-a-Lago on Palm Beach. They always work with Palm Beach, but because the sheriff oversees the largest law enforcement agency here, they're a big, big piece of security there, and that will be a very outward sign of how we will see things ramp up. And you and I have been on plenty of campaign trails. Security always tight around sitting presidents, about to amp up around a former president about to be the nominee. Typically, Secret Service protection would amp up around the official nominee. That's a practice for anybody running. Now we're going to see even more of that in the weeks and months to come, and the debate about, as inevitably it comes up already, how could it happen?
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on Secret Service protection, but I think even the Secret Service would admit that there's no such thing as perfect protection. I mean, I don't want to
we'll leave Secret Service to the Secret Service stuff.
I think another thing
but we're going to see that, and PBSO and others are going to be part of what will clearly be an amped-up presence here locally as far as Mar-a-Lago is concerned.
You know, there's also some evidence that's been reported that when this shooter was 17 years old, he made a contribution to Act Blue, a Democratic organization, and that when he was 18, he became a registered Republican. Neither of those things matter. These kinds of shooters usually are mentally disturbed. It has nothing to do with politics. You know, the man who shot Ronald Reagan claimed to have done it because he wanted to impress actress Jodie Foster. You know, there is no...
John Hinckley.
John Hinckley. There is no logic to what these people are doing. So to assign a political motive one way or the other to these kinds of individuals is usually a folly.
Again, the overall tone and you certainly bring up the fact, how long does it last before we get back to the unfortunate ugliness that so many people you talk to in everyday life bemoan, and yet it still seems to consume us so much. Again, we don't know motivation. We may never fully know, if at all. I'm going to ask my producer, I do think for those who come in and out of the broadcast, if we can cue up, in this case, and we've been reaching out to Republicans and Democrats, but all of them thematically have sort of really said the same thing, whether they were Republican or Democrat today. Maybe we can re-cue Democrat Lois Frankel. I've been putting calls in. If you see me staring at my phone, I've been reaching out to Brian Mast and his office and trying to get a hold of them, and we will continue to do so. The governor had prayers out for the family, Governor and First Lady Casey DeSantis. If we have that queued up, let's listen once, because I think this captures the theme locally of response. And then a final thought from you, Brian. For those of you who may have missed it in our first segment, Lois Frankel, Democrat, but it could as well have been Republicans in Florida speaking today, at least most of them.
Political violence has no place in our country, period. Regardless of your political affiliation or your belief, we all have to emphatically demand that we respect differences of opinion, and that violence is not the way to solve our differences.
We've heard that from Democrats. We've heard it from Republicans in statements that we aired earlier. Continue to seek outreach for on-camera interviews. Final 30 seconds of this segment.
Well, it's a nice thing to say. Lots of folks are saying it. I think it's, unless they actually do something in their actions going forward, where they're toning down the rhetoric, everything they're saying today won't mean anything. And
but maybe it could be a moment.
Well, I think it's up to voters to insist that we're not going to have this heated rhetoric on either side, and if you want my vote, you're going to knock it off.
Ryan, we'll have your final thoughts on this day after the attempted assassination of a former president and soon to be officially the Republican nominee for President of the United States for a third time, Donald Trump, resting in Bedminster, New Jersey. And we'll continue to assess Florida and local reaction. We'll be back in a moment.